And indeed, here we are in game number 2 in this best of 7. Looking dominant after that game number 1 win, we will have the Viper in the yellow as the Britons to the south of the map, and to the northeast in the blue as the Khmer, looking to just shake that first game off and turn it around. It's going to be JorDan. What do you think of this matchup, Nili?
I think Britons are really reliant on gold spots. And that's why we've seen, for example, in KotD4, them having a horrible win rate. Maybe Nerfox can look up that one again, but I think they went down to like 15% or something in the final stages.
That. It was sad.
But we also had even more open gold spots on that one. This map looks really solid for the Viper, with the defensive gold berries reasonably close, defensive wood lines, and I think he can play a reasonable game. In general, Khmer, pretty happy to make it wild and messy, while Britons, they kind of want to have a controlled game and one army fight through the center.
You see that big bird party over at JorDan's base? Now they're kind of flying towards the middle of the map. They've got all the vultures and storks.
It's so many. What's happening there?
You know, it's migration time, I suppose.
Well, winter's coming.
Indeed it is. It was snowing a little bit earlier here. But regardless, JorDan doesn't really have any back wood lines, but he does have his fruit bushes in the back, which is quite nice. And it's also not too difficult to wall as far as things go. And the gold is at least away from Viper-ish, kind of. So I do prefer Viper's map, but not by a significant margin.
Yeah, JorDan reasonably open there. Still didn't find all his sheep. Maybe pushes one deer. Not really the biggest deer pusher. More of a guy who likes to scout. More of a guy who likes to know what's up.
Yeah, the decision to go for the deer equivalent pushing with the zebra and the ostrich, it's one that has actually played a very large impact when it comes to laming, because if you go for a super early deer push, then, well, if your opponent just runs forward, you don't have your own goats scouted, so then your opponent takes them. So I kind of like this idea of at least making sure you know where your goats are, and then you can go for, like a deer zebra afterward, or you can just go out on the map and see where your opponent is going to be really important when it comes to a drush.
Yeah. That's kind of the approach that lots of GL players had lots of times, right? Not really the most notorious deer pushers. I think Tato always said he only pushes deer if he found all his boars and sheep before like minute 3:30 or something, he said.
Yeah, and it's in my opinion the safer approach, especially in, this is a very high stakes tournament, so your players are going to lame as much as they can. And there are a lot of great civs for doing it. You have all 3 American civs, and then you have Vietnamese and Mongols, all likely just to run forward and take some of your resources. But that's not really the case in this particular game. Viper just going to be going to a wood line. Notably, he did start with only 3 on wood, but I feel like this could just be for a quick feudal age into Archer's play from Britons.
Yeah, feels very likely. He's also a guy that sometimes plays man-at-arm openings with 3 on wood, but already second lumber camp, so this will be a pop 19 Archer defense.
This is a very quick uptime for Britons, but of course they do have a strong Dark Age. You get the faster working Shepherds. And, well, what is our Khmer player, JorDan, going to be up to? He's going to be going up on 20 pop. And with Khmer, I think they really like facing not scout openings. Because if you're in a scout war, then you have to deal with not having spearmen, or you have to build the barracks, but then you lose that huge bonus. And whoa, where are you guys going? Oh, okay, this is for a lumber camp.
Well, not a lot of villagers on gold yet. Is the Viper playing a scout opening here? Build-up looks exactly like it.
Yeah, and sure, why not? I mean,
the wood lines are really bad for JorDan. Like spearman scout against that?
Yeah, like I was just saying, Khmer, they really don't want to build a barracks if they don't have to. But in a scout war situation, you better be full walled if you're not going with the barracks. And in this current version of Arabia, also with palisades being nerfed in the last patch, it's just a lot harder to go for that play style of yeah, you open scouts, and then you just mitigate your not having a barracks by being completely walled early on. It's just too hard to do now.
Okay, let's just calm down. 2 on gold being sent there. It will be the archer defense that we expected initially.
All right.
Boring.
Jordan actually trapping his 2 villagers in. Does he expect a scout opening from Viper?
I think that's a mistake against archers.
Because if you're up against archers, which you would kind of expect Britons to be going for rather quickly, then those villagers, they can't escape until they either mine their way through or you delete the mining camp.
Well, maybe he should just focus on the mine to the bottom then.
Yeah.
Maybe they clump up into each other. Archer range by Jordan. Oh, okay. So skirm approach against the archer approach. But Viper, okay, late with his archer. Goes for horse color first. And yeah, switches. He's now going for skirms. Only 1 on gold.
I guess that's just an adaptation to seeing that his opponent's also going for archers. Here, the Briton team bonus really can shine quite a lot. You don't even need to worry about Castle Age and your longer range archers. Just having the faster skirm production and archer production in Feudal Age means that you can just get that early numbers advantage and just snowball that like crazy. But Jordan, again, a bit more of a passive approach early on, getting a blacksmith, just starting to wall up towards his wood line. I mean, he knows that they are pretty much off in Neptune, so you need to make sure you don't die.
Will we see scouts added though? If both players are going for skirms, that's actually your typical transition.
Well, it's just a blacksmith for Viper. I mean, when we see the scout transition, it's usually a little bit later into Feudal Age, right? When you already have, say, 8 to 10 mix of archers and skirms. So I guess we could be seeing that switch a little bit later, but considering that both players went pretty greedy, going for horse collar right away, the upgrade I apparently talk about the most in this entire tournament, because it seems to be the... It's just like a big decision point in the early game, whether you go for the super aggressive opening, you just can't get that upgrade, but then your farms are all running out of wood in early Castle Age, and you're sad. But no, both players here going with the much more economic approach.
Yeah, then I will have to rewatch your cast from Lyri's Caesarean's approach.
Oh, don't worry. I was very sad. I was very sad.
Did you mention it at all?
Oh, you bet I did. Come on, Nili. Oh, man. Well, fletching is going to be in for both players. There are some archers here for Jordan, and I guess some for Viper as well. Both players probably just going to be trying to camp their respective hills, maybe annoying these villagers a little bit, but I don't see any large amounts of damage being done as Jordan is just eventually going to wall all the way to the edge of the map.
But the Viper, he's annoying, and he wanted to go a bit further to the right-hand side because he's sneaking with 2 archers on the left-hand side, and I think pushing Jordan to this hill is exactly what he does not want to do.
Yeah, that's... I like the play with the 2 archers here, because in this big fight, the archers are just going to be picked off by the skirmishers, because you're almost always going to want to focus those units in this particular matchup between this like skirm archer army compositions. So just sending the archers around, trying to harass some villagers, but as you were saying, Viper just kind of pushing the army of Jordan there anyway. But still, foragers could be a little bit exposed. They're going to need to jump into that house most likely.
Let's see. Archers, they didn't really shoot. Still microing there at the front. We're just being pushed back, but yeah, they will be saved. Still, no losses here.
Nope.
First archer goes down.
First blood. Oh wait, wrong
Were
Microsoft
you the
game.
voice actor there? Okay. What? It's a Microsoft game?
Yeah, it's from Halo.
First Blood is from Halo?
I thought it was.
I thought it was Quake or something. Thought it was like an old school shooter.
It's from Dota? I don't even know.
No, it's not from Dota.
No, it's not from Mortal
Kombat?
Nah. Unreal Tournament?
Unreal Tournament is something I could see more, yeah.
Quake? Okay.
Quake is something like, yeah.
Okay.
Or Unreal Tournament? It's one of the two. I was pretty sure. Yeah. Double archer range now by the Viper. Yeah. By the way, are you not streaming yourself?
I am.
Or are the same... Okay, so the same people typed on both streams, apparently. Because, well every single time you read something, it was posted on my chat as well.
Oh, I just have both chats open.
Okay. You're such kind of a professional caster. Okay.
Oh yeah, you know me, Nili. Top tier professional.
I don't even read my own chat.
I try to not.
Original from Halo, but Nintendo did the thing where they time travel. Ah, okay. Okay. Quake mod. Okay. So it's UT or Quake.
Okay.
Let's say it's not Halo for sure.
Okay.
And
But
not a Microsoft game.
Feels bad, man. But regardless, Viper grabbing wheelbarrow, Jordan gonna be clicking up to Castle Age a little bit faster. Khmer Eco is still a very strong force to be reckoned with, one of the best economies in the entire game in my opinion, even still. Lots of food, but still Viper is gonna be, I think, totally fine. Yeah, resources collected is pretty even.
Those players are playing reasonably passive, although Viper, does he have a number advantage now? It's 15 units there in the center against 6. Jordan wants to go back on that hill, and Viper will be fully walled reasonably soon. And he's getting into that controlled game that he wanted. Still a bit surprised with wheelbarrow, something we don't see too often in Field Age.
What do you think about the upgrade? I mean, the sort of general wisdom over the years is that, you know, somewhere around 13 to 15-ish farmers is when wheelbarrow starts to become efficient, but it also can delay your Castle Age time. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here, is Jordan's going to be, let's call it a little less than a minute and a half faster. Do you think it's worth it?
I feel like the first upgrade, or like build one villager and then an upgrade once you hit Castle Age, feels so much smoother. Unless you play like full double stable, full feudal age aggression. I think it delays my Castle Age time too much. And I'm actually shocked, and that shows you how low the level still is in Age of Empires 2, that no one really sat down and did the math.
Yeah, it's crazy how the the skill ceiling, it's incredibly high, but it's still, there's always further it can be pushed, and it really should and will be pushed going forward. But here we are, hitting Castle Age's Jordan, already here, taking the fight. He has an army advantage to begin with. Elite Skirmisher and Bodkin on the way. And Viper, he can't do anything except run away.
Archer range is not working from him. Is he transitioning into something? Gate now. I see some more archers, no stables. I think he has to build a siege workshop.
Yeah, that would be probably a good idea. Just gonna Mangonel, help defend. He does have cheaper TCs with Britain, so you can just add an extra eco quite comfortably. That said, Jordan already doing just that with a TC to the northwest of his base, and a little bit of a weird position because this KOTD really, really hates having you build town centers in good spots.
Yeah. That's why Dowd hated the map generation so much. Viper now pushes that one out. I think it should go up quite reasonably well. Siege Workshop as well, and I think really Viper, I wouldn't be surprised if he builds TC at the right hand side as well.
Yeah, why not? I really don't like one TC play with Britons just because it feels like you have such a great opportunity to just add in TCs, and with a really cheap army, it's not like going for the eco approach just kills all potential like military options. So I like to see that from Viper. Still, these skirmishers are in a good spot for Jordan on top of this little hill, dying some farm space. But no, the Scorpion's going to come out, and it's going to poke away at the skirms.
Oh, did more than poking. One got poked to death. And ooh, Jordan lining up for the shot there.
Lining them up. Scorpions are kind of an interesting unit that they really have been seeing a lot more play recently, just as players have gotten better at dodging mangonels. And we see that, you know, once you get up to like 4 or 5 scorpions, they just kind of start killing everything.
Yeah, so true. This time, actually, it was a bit different because the Viper simply didn't have the gold for the mangonels, so he could only squeeze out the Scorpion, had to build the TC first, and I think the next unit is probably going to be the mangonel.
Yeah, the Scorpion also trains faster than the mangonel, and, you know, Viper had a very sort of immediate danger with those skirmishers, so I think that totally justified. But third TC coming in here from Jordan, and it's going to be the Great Gamer Legion Boom Off. It's the much less popular spinoff to the Great British Bake Off.
I was asked before the set who is going to build more TCs. The Viper or Jordan? What would you have said?
I would have said Viper.
Okay. I think I said Jordan.
Oh, well, there we go.
Oh.
Heavy plow coming
Disagree. What was game 1's TC count?
3, 2, 2.
Okay. So you're 1 ahead.
I am. But there's still plenty of runway left here for these guys to be making more town centers. Mangonel is indeed coming in for Viper, as you were saying. Pure skirmisher play from Jordan. And now I guess my question becomes, as Khmer, what are you doing for a gold unit? Because right now you're just making skirmishers, and that's not really the scariest thing in the world. I mean, yeah, you can snipe a stray villager here and there, but at some point you're going to want to make something that's better than skirmishers. Although, yeah, nice little villager snipe, but what would you say?
Most of the time don't do too many. I most of the time try to go like heavy over boom, 4TC, latest on the way to Imp, and then just go Hussar, Elite Skirmisher spam. And if they force me into something, then probably Arbalest. Most of the time, the unit that forces you the most is if they go into the champion direction.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that a bit more recently, since the swordsman line have gotten all of those buffs. It's been really fun to see and fun to play. Like most of my ladder games recently, I've just been going mass swordsman.
Okay. Clapping those 1400s on.
Oh yeah, no. We're getting towards 1200 at this rate.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
because of the longsword, man.
No. No, I'm still at 1700, but still bloodland.
Well, 1700 is damn solid.
Yeah.
And you will still find games, right? I heard some people on higher levels are struggling.
Yeah. That once you get to into the 2K range, it's getting a little bit more difficult just because there are so few players out there that, well, the chances of one of them queuing up is not as likely as you would probably want.
Yeah, especially now with KotD, everyone practicing behind closed doors to get the best practice. And, well, I think this is finally the moment where we could see a big fight here. Double Mangonel against only one.
Oh, not going for the lead.
The Viper was not watching there.
Nope. But we have ballistics in for both players. And of course, skirms are just going to struggle to deal with Mangonels. Especially because, well, one, they just have a 50% slower attack rate compared to the crossbowmen. And of course, with Britons, you actually get to outrange the Mangonels. 4th TC in for Viper. So now I'm 2 ahead. Ha!
Well, it's unfair. He had Britons I didn't know before.
Yeah.
No one picked humans.
Only Viper in that game versus Say My Name.
Yeah, I meant no one of those two picked
I know.
in the sets. 70 HP for that Mangonel. Tries to go back. Viper tries to snipe from distance. That could be risky here. Mangonel moves back. Still survives.
Oh, it's a close one. That looks like a 1-for-1. And Mangonel chunks down a couple more skirmishers, but with the leather archer armor in for Jordan, Viper is going to have to be quite careful. Just going to try and poke and run with those crossbowmen. Gets a couple kills, but you just really can't commit to this sort of fight if you are our yellow player.
Yeah, I think we need to disengage here, and I'm really surprised the Viper's even trying to micro. It feels like every single time he's stopping, he will have more losses.
Yeah, and the crossbowmen aren't even guaranteed to get a skirmisher, just with all of that pierce armor in. And now it looks like it's going to be for the stable switch. I mean, he sees that Jordan's army is almost entirely based in skirmishers, so it doesn't matter if Briton knights aren't amazing. You just need knights right now.
Yeah. Well, skirmishers low HP now as well. I think just mass Mangonel is the play. I don't really think you needed those stables. Don't expect him to build too many knights. Maybe like 4 or 5. Also good in sniping the Mangonels.
Yeah, exactly. I like that you're not reliant on your crossbows or Mangonels to snipe the enemy Mangonels. So I do like that a bit, but Jordan, with the power of Khmer farming, also not investing into the 4th TC, going to be going up to the Imperial Age ahead of Viper. Not just ahead, but well ahead of Viper. But Viper is investing into the stone for a castle.
Maybe human is an option here. Don't really see that in Castle Age. Knife down tech.
Very nicely done there from Jordan. Now we have Bloodlines coming in for our blue player. Only 9 villagers on gold. I mean, this I think is pretty clearly going to be for the Hussar play. Going to go all trash unit all day long. We've been seeing a lot with his army composition with Indians in this tournament. He's going for mass skirmishers and then Imperial Age making that switch over into Hussars. But Khmer are going to be doing that just as well, if not even better.
Viper have floating lots and lots of wood. Look at that. I'm a bit surprised.
Well, of course, Nili, wood floats. You know, it doesn't sink. Gold's going to sink. Stone's going to sink. Steak's probably going to sink.
Okay.
Viper just now clicking up to Imp, but he is going to be a little under 2 minutes slower.
Okay.
Nili questioning why he agreed to cast with me.
No, well, I kind of should have known what I signed up for. No, actually, I think I will steal that one.
Okay, sure, why not? Oh man, Castle's coming in for Viper, and especially as I would say that the Arabia meta before KOTD, as Viper actually gets a few nice villager kills with these knights, but before KOTD, I would say the meta was heavily focused around like fast imp arbalest timings, and when players are struggling against that, I always just recommend just build stuff. Castles are ideal, but just having as many buildings as possible, it's going to help a lot against these fast Imperial Ages, or at least relatively speaking. Of course, this isn't for Arbalests, it's for elite skirmishers, but still, similar principle applies. You're not going to be dying if you have a bunch of castles.
Yeah. So good in defense. Viper puts them on the hills, love them. And he is going for lots of stables. He's going for light calf here, I believe. Is sitting on 42 farmers. Or is there a chance that we see Cavalier? Now more archery ranges as well.
More stables.
Oh.
I mean, the thing that Britons always lack is just that mobility. They have one of the slowest armies in the game, just with archers and halbs and siege and whatnot. But getting that light cav, yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's at least something. And for an opponent who's, completely wide open, not really walled at all anymore, it could be a very strong option going forward.
Knights are back with the raid at the right-hand side. Won't really do too much. Mainly sitting on skirmishes here. And we'll go for more Hussars. And Jordan, only 13 villages on gold. So he will stay with exactly that army composition. And I think it's a good one for the long run until Viper gets a tech switch in there somehow. But that would probably be champions if you are Britons.
And Britons do have good champions. They do have all the upgrades. What I will say is that Jordan was a good bit faster to the Imperial Age, even had a bit of a larger army, but he wasn't able to make anything happen with it, and Viper's able to get to Imperial Age himself pretty comfortably, and he's going to have 146 villagers to 116, so that's a pretty sizable difference.
Yeah, but is it a good difference, is the question. Like, Viper now banking up resources. Yeah, he gets the +4 armor on his light calf, but still, like, what's your Britain's game plan if you only have 55 military units?
55 Warwolf Trebs beats everything.
Okay, agree. Except 56 Warwolf Trebs.
You got me.
And 57 Warwolf Trebs.
All right, beating up to 54
and 58
Warwolf Trebs.
Okay.
But yeah, going for Arbalests, I think just camping under your castles and then trying to go for some light cav raids is probably going to be your best bet. Slowly creep out on the map with more town centers, more castles, and just play a super sort of slow game where you try to outgrind your opponent. But the issue with that is going to be you're still wide open to the Hussar raids of Khmer. We have that upgrade coming in for Jordan, and it's just such a deadly tool against any civ, but especially a slow one like Britons.
What I would love to see from Jordan is siege ramps. Right? Just 2 siege workshops at the right-hand side, 2 siege workshops at the left-hand side, and play the long game. And just be super annoying. And Britain struggles so much in dealing with that.
It is the traditional Briton killers, the siege ram. It's the unit of their nightmares. And regardless, both players at around max pop, around similar army values, but I mean, Jordan has a bunch of skirmishers against a bunch of things that are countered by skirmishers. The Hussars are going to be a meat shield as well, and this is going to be really rough for the Viper.
And he felt like a bit clueless here how to play this one out, right? Maybe he goes into more onagers, but so many Arbalists dying here already.
That is not what I would call value, or at least not good value. And is Jordan just going to run Viper over with a bunch of trash units? Because that's kind of what I'm looking at right now.
Well, it feels like it. Arbalists are dying quite quickly. Like, Viper will get onto a better army, might just take into Elite Longbowman, and will not be killed for a very long time, I believe. But I see all the winning conditions on Jordan's side.
I also
3
really
relics
appreciate
also.
how Jordan was able to scoop up already 3 relics. He had the map control, and in the long run, if this game does go long, it's going to be just a very nice extra boost to your economy.
Some more mangonels for the Viper. Both players obviously pop limit. Not a lot of raids are happening. Jordan should get relic number... Oh, he didn't scout the right-hand side corner. So eventually he should get another relic there. So likely to be 4 against 1 or 0.
Well, KotD4 Arabia always spawns with a plus-shaped relic distribution. So 1 in the middle and then 1 in each corner. So he should just realize, okay, there's... there has to be 1 in the corner, right? But obviously with how many things are going on right now, he might not exactly remember where the relics are coming from. We do have the Longbowman switch from Viper. Yes, they're going to be really good, but you're going to need to get the Elite Longbowman upgrade. It's 850 food, I believe. Not really something you can afford right now if you're Viper. And it doesn't help the issue of the Hussars running in absolutely everywhere.
5 castles here for the full defense. It is such a nice defense overall, but I simply don't see the Viper ever really moving out. And finally, we see a Yeoman for more range on those Arbalists.
Viper obviously trying to get his network of castles bonus. Gotta get that faster fire rate for your Arbalists. Oh,
I'm
wait.
surprised that he's not outpost rushing everywhere.
Where are the Arbs on top of the walls?
Wrong game, Ornlu.
I know. We have 2k gold for Jordan. I mean, he's just chilling. He doesn't need to tech into anything else for the time being. I mean, sure, you can just like go rams or even elephants eventually, but right now it's like you don't need to stop what isn't. You don't need to stop what is already working.
Now throwing away quite a lot of his army. Skirms are diving in. Lots of Hussars lost, but he will just be happy with constantly trading off against the Arbalist. But that was probably one of the worst engagements in this game for him.
It was, in fact, a really bad engagement. You can see the KD was pretty even, which was nice for Jordan in that he was losing trash units for gold units. But right now, Viper taking a significant lead in that regard. Jordan's kind of falling a little bit in terms of population. And Viper, he's getting Warwolf. The War Ornlu a Wolf upgrade, Poggers.
Poggers indeed. 68 farms. Honestly, with Khmer and with this playstyle, I wouldn't even mind to see 80 farms for Jordan there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, why not? Everything you make costs food. Oh my god, he's making Ballista elephants, Nili.
Okay. To do what?
To die. The Ballista elephant is my single least favorite unit in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love the fact that how they can cut through trees.
Oh yeah, I think that's
I
cool.
don't like them fighting. Yeah.
But I think that the Ballista elephant might as well have 0 attack for how useful it is as a combat unit.
Okay.
It's cool because it can cut trees, and then that's literally it. It
Actually,
might as well be a flaming camel.
I was an advocate to actually make, like, in the pre-alpha of what was it called, Rise of Rajas. I actually played like a balance game and had Khmer. We played King of the Hill, and I had like 60 elephants in the center and like was attacked by 220 infantry and just mowed down everything with losing 3. And then I made a long article like how they needed to be changed to be not as strong as they are. And I think they got stronger after that, and now are still completely trash.
Well, to be fair, Ballista elephants are super, super insane in, like, free-for-all games. Oh, and we got double crossbow coming in. Oh, boy. Nili, oh, boy, even.
What are we seeing? But Warwolf could be good in Trap Wars. At least so I heard.
It's really good, in fact. In case people don't know, it does give your trebuchets 100% accuracy. I don't think it's even listed on the stats card thing, but it means you win every single treb war. Well, you need to make sure you're sieged up, but yeah. Oh, okay. Not bad. This is a good fight for Jordan.
Trap war. Yeah, I like it as well. Ballista Elephant still non-elite, now up to 70 farmers, and Jordan is pushing in here. And those Arbalists, they might struggle quite a bit.
Ballista Elephants have 7 Pierce Armor when fully upgraded, so the same as a Paladin. And of course 270 HP with the non-elite version. That gate looks pretty goofy now that it's completed. But yeah, Viper's kind of getting overrun right now. He's making a switch over into the Halberdiers, but that's only just now coming in. He really needs to fall back to the protection of his castle, but the big issue for Viper there is that he lost those trebuchets, and, well, that means that Jordan's going to keep on pushing.
Are names reversed here or what? What is happening?
Yeah.
Jordan Ballista Elephant pushing the Viper.
Double crossbow, man. I mean, if they can get in close onto those Arbalests, they're going to be doing a decent amount of damage. No Siege Engineers, that's an upgrade I'd really love to see, as Ballista Elephants do benefit from that upgrade. And looks like some of them are going to end up falling, but, well, this is at least uncomfortable for Viper, to say the least.
Uh-oh, traps really exposed. 5 traps here, not a lot of army to protect it.
Reinforcements trying to stream in here for Jordan. It's 80 military to 57 in favor of Viper, but of course Jordan with a more valuable army, but that is going to be a lot of destroyed trebuchets. And the advantage that Jordan got from that win against Viper just, a couple minutes ago, that is pretty much completely gone as he just lost all of that pushing potential.
Well, he already has new traps in the queue. Soon he will already have 2 traps again, and that's a lot of light cav that just died.
Terrible medicine coming in for Viper. Poggers! Finally,
he's
the upgrade
that,
that the campaign players like myself are saying actually has use.
Why did Jordan, with this economy and all this investment, not wait for Elite Ballista Elephant? He's doing it only now, after losing like 15 of them.
Yeah, it's a bit suspect for sure. He still has an okay-ish amount of gold, but, I mean, Ballista Elephants, no matter how you cut it, they're expensive units, and not something that you can just afford to just trade off. And now Viper switching over into the Halberdiers. He's looking to be okay. He actually has a decent score lead, mostly from just having better trades. But this is very much a split map scenario.
Viper is so incredibly good, arguably the best player when it comes to late game Age of Empires scenarios. But we feel like Jordan should have the better position in the on the map and the better civilization.
Siege Engineers is coming in for blue. That's not just going to help the range of the Ballista Elephants, but it is going to help with the trebuchets. You can knock down those castles that much more quickly, which are sort of the main things anchoring Viper in this defensive position. But it's still going to be tricky because those Briton archers there might as well be shooting over from the next game. Just can't even see him coming, man.
Perhaps disengaging. We're a bit scared. Light Cav now taking the engagement, but they are just so much weaker. No Hussar upgrade, no bloodlines on them.
Yeah, we're looking at a good 35 difference in HP, as well as a slightly slower attack speed. But still, if Viper's able to just free fire on the army of Jordan, then it doesn't really matter how much better his units are, because he's just taking damage and Viper isn't.
I don't like that Jordan doesn't have any skirms anymore. 11 skirms on the field, only 2 here.
I totally agree. I feel like having those skirms are important in pressuring down the Arbalests. I guess he's kind of relying on the Ballista Elephants to do that, but they only have 6 range. So you're so heavily outranged by the Briton Arbs that it's just going to be so hard to ever actually get close. And on the left side, one of those Ballista Elephant factories is under threat.
Some people call it a castle. And those Ballista Elephants now against the Halberdiers doing an okay job. Some Hussars will lose their lives. Trap are getting repaired. Light Cav coming from the side. And it feels like Jordan keeps all the 3 traps for now.
What was that?
Keeps 1. Keeps no traps for now.
Well, to be fair, now is not a determinate amount of time. Now it could have just been that 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, Jordan himself going to try and run in and get these trebuchets. Neither player really having a good answer to these trebuchet snipes. No real switch into the Rams. We did see Cap Ram, I think, from Viper a little while ago, but we just don't really have the infrastructure for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit of a stalemate.
The other day I was doing a 1v1 cast in German for like a German channel. And it's the first time that I really like cast and try to be like entertaining solo cast stuff. And I think I called 8 out of 8 fights incorrectly. Who was going to win?
Oh, feels Nili, man.
Yeah. So like, if I say traps are surviving, they're dying, I couldn't care less.
You know, it's just about being fun. It's not about being right.
Okay. Okay. Well, I wasn't fun either.
Oh,
it was a German cast.
Well, yeah. So
I
you don't need to
appreciate
be fun.
that. Yeah. I was on time.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're a train, right? Those are never on time.
It's more of a meme, I believe.
It's like that's at least the German meme that I know.
Yeah. They're constantly complaining.
Also, shout out to Jordan getting all of the building HP upgrades. You need those castles alive, so you gotta get masonry, architecture, and hoardings. Even Viper getting all of them as well. Oh man, I love it.
Hussars now around those traps, or no? Just waiting for the elephant and then taking the engagement again.
Oh, villagers
or is he
trying to be there for the trebs. Oh. One treb goes down to make that 2, but that's a lot of hussars that are being sacrificed in the process.
How many was there? Like 25 hussars or something?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. And the issue with Ballista elephants is that they just don't have very high base damage. I mean, you have 9 plus 1 on the main attack, and then you have half that for the secondary projectile. And with, Halbs at least having some pierce armor, it takes a little while to kill them unless you have a ton of Ballista Ellies.
Well, Jordan is trying to get to that mass, has 19 on the field now, and now goes for Town Watch. Still no idea about the relic at the right-hand side. Thinks it is a 3v2 scenario. Viper thinks it's a 1v4 scenario. Well, it's 3v1 actually.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but Jordan will find it when he eventually goes to take that wood line. Oh, now he sees it with the town patrol. The town patrol is in.
Trap at the left-hand side. Can it be saved? Villagers idling next to it. Halberdiers are going down, but the trap with it as well. Castle count. Still 4 for Jordan, 5 for the Viper.
Checking out the resources collected, we have around...
Oh no, you don't want to check resources, you want to check the fight in the center.
God dang it. Well, those Ballista elephants are not going to get a whole lot done in life. 99, 100 army now to 62. The values are pretty similar, but I feel like this is going to be so hard. Look how bad Ballista elephants are, Nili. They suck.
Against Halberdiers for sure. And that's what I said, right? Why aren't we going Hussar Skirmisher here?
You know what? I would have loved to have seen from Jordan is Heavy Scorpion. Okay. Heavy Scorpion, they actually do shred halberdiers.
Yeah, true. But they die from distance, right? What's their range, like 8?
9 with Siege Engineers and the Khmer team bonus.
Yeah.
So yes, they're outranged, but they're not outranged by that much.
And we also already mentioned Siege Ram, simply the typical unit to kill Britons. Not really something we see from Jordan here.
Yeah, of course, Rams, we have to remember, getting bonus damage against Ballista elephants.
Attack at the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah, again, another trebuchet. Very exposed. Viper just going to dart
Hussars in this. Go ahead.
Big fight going to be happening here. The Hussars are pouncing onto those Arbalests, and now we see those skirmishers being mixed back into the army here from Jordan. They are good against both Halbs and Arbs, of course. And right now, Viper is going to have to retreat, but he still has just such a massive army number advantage that Jordan is struggling to be everywhere he needs to at the same time.
And actually, it should be the Khmer player having the mobility. But Viper just so good in scenarios like these. Just feels unfair.
There are, I believe, maybe 3 players that can compete with Viper in these sorts of scenarios. And unfortunately, Jordan, I would not say is one of them, at least not quite yet. Hussars are going to be diving in.
And who are the other 2?
I would say Yo Doubt MBL.
Yo Doubt MBL. Okay. Well, Scorpions are being added now as well. Let's take a look at that and how much damage they're doing. But yeah, just dying from distance.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. You don't really have the heavy Scorpion upgrade, and even then, you're only looking at a couple heavy Scorpions. Viper is now taking a very significant score lead. And yeah, Jordan's just getting ground down. He has 2k gold in the bank and nothing to spend it on. That feels bad, man.
Buys food and wood so often now while Viper is selling. We also saw guilds from the Viper. Not sure if Jordan had it. Okay, Arbalest now losing some meat shield though. Take some time until we get enough Halberdiers at the front again.
Come on, Nili. You should know that Khmer don't have guilds.
They got removed. But it got removed.
Did they get removed?
I think it got removed for because of deathmatch.
Oh yeah. Well, no, they lost Treadmill Crane.
I'm pretty sure they had guilds.
They definitely had Treadmill Crane and then lost it because of DM. I'm not too sure about guilds.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. But look at the raids in the back.
When you're getting out-mobilitied, when you're up against Britons as Khmer, you know you're feeling sad about life.
4 relics won't help too much.
And there's the GG, well played. Viper, opposite of game number 1, a very, very slow, grindy, strategically oriented game, but really in the end, Viper just taking such cost-efficient trades, making those better decisions, better unit switches, and he'll take game number 2.
Not what I wanted to see from our Khmer player. Think Ballista elephants. That's something for a rated game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit sad.
I'm never someone who wants to let players' memes be dreams, but not this time. If he was Indians, then I think Elephant Archers actually would have been fantastic, but obviously different Civ.
Okay. If he was God, Huskars would have been fantastic.
Well, I mean, like, as far as, like, the meme elephant ranged unique units go.
Okay. Well, 2-0 for the Viper, and honestly, this one should give you so much confidence here if you are the Viper. That was a game where you were so on the back foot, you had to hold, and from there on did so many good decisions to take the W, 2-0.
And just took those fights. Viper and Britons both very difficult to finish off, even if you do have that advantage. Just hanging back there, making sure he had the castles to defend himself, able to take good enough fights with those archers. And yeah, exactly, able to get the W. And
that's 200 KD as well here.
Yeah.